Hi, everyone. It's Linda G. coming to you live from Rangi, California. The news guy this morning, the weather guy said, when the rains first started, I heard from people saying, this is wonderful. We needed this. And now it's make it stop. I heard from our friend Danny Bathrobe, and he's like, boy, your guys were sure right. Because remember, I kept seeing flooding. He said, make it stop. It's we're gonna rain here in California probably to the middle of April. And let me tell you, yesterday I was supposed to do this show yesterday, but I never even got ready because I was outside. I have towels down. It rains so hard it comes up underneath the garage on the side. I've tried other things to prevent it, but I can't. The good news is I used to flood worse than that, but we got some sort of sump pump going and a system to pull the water out, but some way the garage is it doesn't work. So I have a wet vac. So yesterday I was wet vacuuming and I have beach towels and I use those and then I wash them on fast wash. And that's all I did yesterday all day. And empty the wet vac because it would fill it with water pretty fast. So anyway, I'm here and I got 300 questions. Thank you guys so much. And I also wanted to thank my friend Bob. He went to the Sugar Shack, him and his daughter in Massachusetts, and got me some of that you can take this by the teaspoons. It's a real maple syrup. And apparently, I did take a little taste. I got 2 bottles. And he also sent me pancake mix. My kids just say, Mama, can you make us some pancakes? So, yeah, thank you, Bob. Very much appreciated. And then my friend, who I still have the coffee. I'm still using the coffee that he sent me before, but check this stuff out. Armageddon blend. It's a coffee. He's in Central Florida, but you can buy this stuff, Firehouse Coffee and Tea. And let me tell you, it's Firehouse. I'm real careful about them. I only drink 1 cup a day, but maybe a half a cup with this. Their phone number is 407-474-9224 if you want to order something. He's a former fireman. That's why we became friends. He came up to Sedona. We had a client that fell, and him and I think he had a son with him. They were on it like flies to you know what. I was like, yep. You can tell them some firemen's. Because I remember one time we were at a camp called Feather River Camp, and we were they used to have a big cafeteria where you would sing to Cookie, listen while we sing to you. And they'd serve this food, just tons of food. And the food was delicious, as I recall. Oops. My son's heading up, just in case you guys want to know. So, and then we were walking back from dinner and this woman she was running towards us. She was frantic. I don't think anybody knew Dad was a fireman. And she said, my daughter can't breathe. And my dad ran to the tent with her. Show me where you are. And I guess she had something lodged in her throat. And he picked her up by the feet with the knee, boom, and projectile out. He saved her life. And one time my daughter, I was in Hollywood. I was at my uncle's house. And my daughter was just a little girl. And she had eaten something, I think caramel, a candy or something. And the thing with choking is you really can't make any noise. If you're choking, you can't talk. She's pulling on me. And I thought she's, come on, Nicole. And I turned around and I picked her up by her feet. Boom. This is before I was a nurse, but I learned this stuff from my dad because when we were young, Dad used to teach us how to defend ourselves, how to change oil, how to rotate tires. Boy, he had us out there working. No, I'm just kidding. And how to shoot guns. he always wanted us to be self-sufficient, but the other thing he did was like if there was a fire, what to do. And he also showed us how to move bodies that are bigger than us. It was amazing, some of the stuff he taught me, so it was cool. Okay, so enough about me. What do you think of me? So anyway, okay, listen, before we get started, I need to tell you something. So the other day, Rachel Maddow, Monday night, Rachel Maddow's talking about about Fani, about how they're trying to get rid of a DA they don't like, and they're saying Governor Kemp will sign this and blah, blah, blah. And I worried for a second. I'm like, oh, Christ. And as I thought that, as I go to worry for a second, I heard my guides, well, actually, my guide showed me a vision, and they showed me Jack Smith talking in her ear. Now, what I there's different ways you can say what that means. But if Jack Smith is talking in her ear, he's either advising her from where he's at, or he's telling her, don't worry, because they got this. Does that make sense? I didn't see him talking to Bragg. But don't you find it interesting that they really put this on slow motion? And a lot of professionals are saying that it would be better to get the January 6th federal charges than it would be Stormy Daniels, etc. For some reason, they've taken this down a notch. So let's look at a couple of things. I want to look at Bragg real quick. So like Mel and I, we had thought maybe it would be 2 weeks before anything happened with the Stormy Daniels. But now they're saying they're not even going to meet, like they're taking most of April off. So tell me what this taking April off, what exactly are they doing? Well, let me tell you guys real quick. It rained here so bad. Oh, I should probably post a picture I took and sent to my friends. It was like someone just took a water hose and it just poured. Okay. And I try to go out there and clean up the poo-poos ASAP because they turn into a wet mess. I know y'all want the details, but Jack and Lulu aren't bon appetites. So they don't have the little tiny, they got the big old looks like a grown man. I know you all wanted those details. Be sure to write that down. I see Bragg talking to several people. He's on the phone a lot. The grand jury has come back to him asking some questions that's made him take a pause. But they are going to think like those other, but remember they said, wait till you hear what this is about. No, that was Georgia. Sorry. Yeah, the Georgia one is pretty significant. But I feel like he's going to be able to put something forward. But why are you holding your cards back? He just said to me as clear as day, I'm unable to move forward at this time. Yeah, those poor people are going through hell. A lot of them are afraid. It's like he knows something else is coming up, so that'll take the heat off them for a minute. But these poor people are afraid. Because they have to come in with security and everything. It's a shame. He's on the fence, and I think this is all the threats and stuff. Things that are out of their control have been pounding them. Like they were moving forward and then it got weird. So they're sort of stuck. But don't worry, justice will prevail. Okay? And behind him is a woman, a strong woman. And before him is the Indian. So Five of Cups, Three of Wands, 10 of Cups, which is good news, and coming off the battlefield. So they're picking, okay, this means they're going to move forward. The dream come true. Things will work out, but it's like one piece of bad news after the other. Maybe even Cohen wasn't a good enough witness. So now they're back to stage one. You know, Cohen didn't give them everything because his fingers were in the pot too. I mean, he pretty much tries to be honest, but when they told him, you have to tell us everything in order for us to accept you, as I don't know what they were doing, but he wouldn't do that. So he's done some stuff that he could be in trouble for. They're stuck, you guys. And it's not working out right now. So who told Trump that last Tuesday, he'd be arrested? Somebody just said in my ear. It's the wrong case. Like, this case isn't the one. There's another case. I think it's either Jack or Fani. Now let's look at Fani. But in a way, the reason he's not that worried about it, first, they want to get some of this heat off of them. And second, they know somebody, you know, I didn't see Jack Smith in his ear, but maybe Jack Smith told him, look, don't worry, because we got, you know, because I could see Jack Smith in Fani's ear. Something big is getting ready to happen. Okay. What can I tell you? Whoa, don't you guys, don't you worry, little buddy. Don't you worry one bit. Peace and freedom is upon us. We'll come to a place, and there's a lot of hidden stuff we don't even know about. Look at this. This is Fani. Holy cow. Behind her is the Five of Swords. So she's getting stressed from behind. That's them trying to get rid of her. But look at magic. It's because, you know, even Rachel Maddow had me scared. Magic, some weird energy going on. She's got many things she can do. This is a powerful female. Look at this. Here's the subpoenas, you guys. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh my God. Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. This is going to happen, like, you know. This is Earth and this is, I do wands as air, you guys. So it might be in the time of Gemini. But here's the Ace of Pentacles, which means, you know, subpoena, like, you know, they're being handed the, you know what, on a platter. And do you see how he's doing these interviews and he's giving himself up? The guy, it's like, you know, his attorneys are like, shut up. Okay, let's just take a quick look and then I'll get back to answering your questions. But let's just take a quick look, see at, hold on. At Jack. By the way, I'll be on Friday with Debbie at Freebird and Kim. I think we're on Debbie's channel. We'll be answering questions. I know you guys are tired of hearing this over and over, but maybe our purpose is just to keep assuring you it's going to be okay, because some of the things I predicted are just happening. But I told you he would be proven beyond a reasonable doubt to be a fraud. Sarah wants to know, will we, as legal actions take place to bring people to justice, will we be reassured? Absolutely, yes. And remember what I told you before, we can't be, oh, yay, which you know, we'll just, our relief isn't necessarily about the person as much as that, yes, our system is working. Because Mueller said, I cannot say to you that Trump did not commit any crimes. I cannot say, if he had not committed crimes, I'd tell you. Okay, so here we go. Jack Smith, how you doing, sweetie? They're really looking at getting Pence. Pence will have to testify. I don't know if he's gonna play more, bring it up to another court, but Pence will have to testify. Now, why is he fighting this? They wanted to hang the poor guy. Jack Smith, tell me about Jack. Jack, where are you now? Jack Smith. Where are you now, sir? I see him taking a little time off. He's looking at justice coming in. Now, this is the September card. I hope we don't have to wait that long. Look at this. Oh my God, and you know what? He likes to triumph. He likes to be riding on the horse 666. This Trump dynasty will end. It will end. Look at this. Judgment is coming. They're going to get Satan after all. Ooh, the world. Hell yeah. So hang on. I know you guys think, oh no, when is this going to happen? September. This is a 9 card. Gosh, I'm sorry. Let's see. What month is this? We're almost in April, May, June, July, August, September. So 5, 9. Okay. So, but it could not even be September. It could be 9 days, 9 weeks, or on the 9th of April. I don't want you to worry. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't get mad at psychics because we can never definitely pinpoint. But I can tell you that this will happen. That I can tell you. Okay. Okay. So thank you for your hits. Oh, by the way, speaking of hits, you know, I'm not going to be doing any more events like Sedona and stuff, but I will probably be appearing in a city near you after this book, which should be done by May. But I want you guys to know I've posted it. If you want me to repost it or call Angel Heart for You in Benicia, but I'm doing that Napa event at the Marriott in Napa, the 12th, Friday, the 12th of May, beginning at 5 o'clock, sort of a meet and greet, how you do, and I'll read random people. Okay. Okay, hi, Linda. Ron. Had you picked up anything about possible charges for MTG and the other 1-6 offenders? I gotta tell you, that's so funny you asked me that because she was talking, you know, I have to turn off the sound when I see her talking. And she was busy telling somebody at the prison, you know, I'm in Congress and I'm on a, what are they called, where they group, a committee. I'm on a committee. Oh, okay. She was down there at that prison and saying totally opposite what the Democrats were there saw, you know. A lot of those prisoners, they didn't put them on camera because those prisoners are pissed off. But anyway, so while she was talking, I had the sound turned off. I saw her, the fall of MTG. I saw a lot of people, that Gomer Pyle guy. No, Gomer Pyle was a nice person, but Gopher or whatever his name is, the one with the head that goes like this. I think that, you know, some neurological problems or something. He's going down. I saw Giuliani's definitely going to have to serve jail time. I saw Jim Jordan in trouble. MTG. Jack Smith has got his eye on MTG. Because, you know, she got even cut off from Twitter, and what's his face owns it now. And he puts up with a lot of stuff, but she was talking some horrible things. She gets out of control and she thinks she's queen for a day. And she's thinking she's the speaker. They would never vote for her for speaker than the man in the moon. But she would think that, oh yeah, I'm sure they'll ask me to be speaker. She's delusional. Bobart's going and she's going. Starting to rain again. So, definitely, I can't tell you for sure. I believe I heard from someone who's an insider that he's looking at these. Somebody said that it's Garland that's doing the committee members, that's doing people in Congress, and it's up to Jack Smith could take care of Trump. So we'll see if that's for true. Okay. So what do you guys think that means, that Jack Smith is talking in Fani's ear? Almost like he was assuring her, like, don't worry. So I'm almost seeing some paperwork, or maybe they're even warning the people running Georgia, if you remove a district attorney while they're, you know, in the middle of this, it'll be looked at that you were trying to interfere with an ongoing investigation. Oh, Kristen said, during your recent video with Sterling, you mentioned having practice a breathing technique. Let me tell you something, easy peasy, my friends. And if you read um, The New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, he talks about it. All you do is do 3 deep breaths, like I do with my prayer. I make everybody breathe 3 times. Sometimes you'll even feel high. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. But when you breathe, you're connecting to source. So as you connect to source vibrationally, it changes you. Because he said, mark my words, if you practice 3 breaths a day for however it took me 6 months, you'll all of a sudden notice it's like it changes you. All of a sudden, things you wish for come true. It's weird, but it has to be vibrationally connected with who you are in the earth. Sometimes vibrationally, we're not high enough to get some of those things we want. Like if we always worried about money, guess what? Money problems always happen. But vibrationally, we can lift ourselves. And you always give grace, and you always say thy will be done, because it's like, just trust, because there's something about handing it over that they're able to move quicker for your dreams. I'm not saying, you know, some of us have past life energy here that we need to go through. So I'm not saying it's sunshine lollipops, but it's definitely a way better energy than I lived in before this. It's a calmness, you know, and that's where I have to go in order to read people, because then I can listen to what they're saying. Will Congress ever put money into mental health, as in building health, clinics? Well, as you know, our governor here is going to switch over San Quentin to more of a mental health. I see mental health coming back, because it wasn't that good, but still it was around. My uncle was paranoid schizophrenic. So was my grandfather on my dad's side. And they both ended up at Napa State Hospital. My grandfather died in the hospital, but my uncle got let out when Reagan came in, and he just walked the streets, and somehow he ended up in some housing situation, but it was a tough life for him. So I see them being able to help people. Let's see. Shannon wants to know about Mike Flynn. I haven't talked about him for a while. He's kind of staying behind. So apparently everybody's dropping the pillow guy. I don't know why this is so bright red. Look at that. This is bright red. Probably from my hand being there all the time. Mike Flynn is, he got pardoned by Trump. Then he thought he was somebody, and he really wanted Trump to remain president, because he knew they'd be back for him. What's going to happen to Mike Flynn? That Dominion lawsuit is fantastic. I can tell you that too. And that woman that Trump assaulted, that he said, I would have never been with someone. Yeah, whatever. Look in the mirror, sucker. She's going to win too. They want him. They want him bad. But I'm not seeing any justice. I'm seeing him at the crossroads. Here's the thing. He's going to be in a place, because he did end up serving jail, and I told you he would end up, or he didn't get in there because he got pardoned. He got a jail sentence, but he's going to be in a place where nobody respects him, nobody likes him. By the time Trump's out of the picture, all these people are what has-beens. Now, C says, Sterling says Melania reported to Kremlin about Trump. Will she face consequences for her assistance? About Trump. Trump was in like Flynn with it. I'm sure I'll have to ask Sterling what that means. Melania, is there anything that's going to happen with Melania? Yes or no? She's upset right now. Ooh, trouble. Legal troubles. I don't know if it's with this, but it's definitely legal troubles. Legal troubles, my friend. You know, that's the problem. If you were part of this group of terrible people, you're going to be ostracized and kicked out of the league. Okay. See, you know what's really going to blow the wind out of their sails is 24. We take over, and you know what? This is what I see. I might not be 100%. I told you it wasn't going to be a landslide. I didn't think they would take the Congress, but they did. But it's actually good because they're really showing their ass now. With the ceiling, the debt ceiling, if they actually turn around and say, no, we're going to let it default, it's over for the Republicans, which is good news for us. But still, a lot of people will suffer. It will be over. And I don't know if they understand the crux of that. I see some people, you know what I do? I do see a lot of Republicans that say, no, I'm not going to vote for that. So that probably what will save us. And if Biden runs, he will win. Okay. Holly, what will the federal judge's ruling reference the abortion pill? He still hasn't said anything because he knows if he says no, he's in trouble. I see AMA, I see physicians talking to him. And look at Idaho. Idaho brought back the, what do you call, for killing, the gun thing. That if you're found guilty of something, you can go before, you know, how they used to kill people. So all the doctors are leaving Idaho, all the OBGYN, these poor people. Don't worry, it's going to turn around though. Federal judge, give me the truth and only the truth. Will the federal judge go against the abortion pill? Jesus, I just heard a faint yes. A lot of women are fighting on this. You know, we need to come out, you guys, just like Israel did against Netanyahu. We need to come out. We need to start marching. Millions. Now, why is Biden in the middle of this? Can he overturn? No, there's some, it's actually going to work out, you guys. Look, it's actually going to work out, but here's Biden for it. So if he says yes, it's not going to last for long. It's like it's challenged, or there's three challenges, three things that are going to take place. Jesus, it's terrible to be a woman in this world now. And, you know, something happens and you start to lose a baby really young and they have to worry about, can they go in and save your life? It's just amazing. But see, you're indispensable. What they want is that fetus. And then once the fetus comes and it's an actual child, good luck on surviving or feeding it or whatever. Um, oh, yeah. That's interesting. Pat Lee said, what about the teachers' pension fund that Mitch McConnell invested in Russia? Will the teachers be reimbursed? Is it federal, the teachers' pension? Let me take a look. Temperance, which means, yes, eventually it'll be given back. I don't know if it's from him, but it will be given back. Here's them handing the money back. I don't know if it's from him, but you know, God's in the middle of this. So he's robbing Peter to pay Paul. I don't know if he's going to be around much longer. I think he's going to have to go, and then somehow or the other, some other people come in and say, give that money back for the teacher's pension, and I believe it'll happen. I don't think it's him per se, because I feel something's going on with him. I'm not saying he's kicking off or anything, but I feel like he will have to leave soon. Oh yeah, Dawn says, how's it going to affect the trans community since yesterday's shooter was supposedly trans? Yeah, and you know what? That one trans person out of all the other shooters, usually male, one woman, and they're making a big deal out of it. And there was the best thing, I reposted it on, I'll put it on my YouTube too, from Jon Stewart. He was talking to this guy, and the guy was talking about, we really don't want the word trans, we don't want this, because, you know, we have to protect our children. Oh, he said, really? You have to protect your children, but don't do stories, trans night stories, to children. But in the meantime, it's okay if they're shot and killed. They were describing what those bullets did to those babies, blowing off half their faces. I say, and I know this is terrible to say, but we can't look at that stuff, but maybe we should look at that stuff. Maybe if you see what happens. I'll tell you what woke me up working as a nurse in the ER, seeing what happens with an MBA, drinking and driving and stuff like that. It makes you real careful when you drive. You're not as apt to take chances. You let the other person go. Back when I was younger, I was, get out of my way. Yeah, Cassandra, she's saying the monster face, will he face any criminal charges for threatening the lives of the DA? They are taking a list, my friend. They are taking a list. And you better believe Jack Smith is watching anything where Trump is talking, all his events. Did you hear that in Waco, that a lot of people were trying to leave within 30 minutes of him talking? They just didn't want, people go to see him like a circus act. You know, Ness, I feel like teachers are going to get paid way better down the road here, just as good as up there with nurses and firemen and stuff. I was married to a teacher, and I know, but this was a private school, so I think it was like 60,000. But 60,000 is nothing now. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was younger, I'd be like, whoa, but oh hell no. Oh, a lot of you guys are saying thank you. Okay, hurricane season is coming. Tell us about Florida. Thanks, Kelly. Let me look. I'll be on Friday with Hogsworth. He's going to be on my channel on my SteamYard. And then I'm gonna have Thomas T. Moore tomorrow. He got this, he sent me this entry, he sent me his newsletter before he put it out. And he's got some timeline factors that he wants to discuss with us. Plus you'll get to ask him questions because he'll be live. Okay. Hurricane Florida. I gotta clear the energy, hold on. Yes, I definitely see in the Gulf over there by Bradenton, Florida, up in the coast there, going through like it did before. I see a good sized hurricane coming through, hitting Mississippi, Louisiana, that kind of energy, pretty big. There's a big one coming into the Carolinas. I see a big, good sized one kind of going up the East Coast line. And then down more towards the tip of Florida. I don't think there's been any that's hit down there lately. So I'm seeing a good hurricane hitting. It's almost like we're going to be just like that meteorologist said, you know, everybody when the rain started here, we were all like, yay. And now it's Armageddon. I mean, trees are falling. You won't believe in San Francisco. The road my son takes to go to work, he did not go to work that day. Thank God his boss was like, yeah, forget it. It's just too dangerous. Some other two guys went in, and the one guy on the same road my son would have taken, the tree fell and killed him. There's a lot of trees, oak trees, eucalyptus trees. I got several oak trees. As you know, I had a tree branch break and went through the roof of my garage. My ex-husband was in it. I ain't saying nothing. But anyway, yeah, I ended up having to pay. I had to pay the $2,000 deductible because it's considered an act of God. But they didn't even offer it. They didn't even say, hey, let's, you know, we'll help you pay. Because tables turned and it was my tree that hit them, and my insurance said, no, it's up to them because it's an act of God. I would have offered to pay because it was $14,000 worth of damage. So hurricane, I definitely see hurricanes. I even see near Mexico, there's some hurricanes. I see some hurricanes hitting Mexico. But I see that Carolina being sort of a record breaker, the way it hits. Somebody's telling me New York is going to experience some flooding. And I see my friend Mel, who lives in Illinois, he had asked, you know, we're kind of in a weird place. We have like spring and it hasn't been raining. My friend Dan lives in New Jersey, and he said, you know, because I was showing him the picture of the rain, looked like somebody took a hose. And he said, yeah. He said, we used to go through that a lot here, but they've been having an unusually mild climate. And that's usually the beginning of some sort of drought situation. Like we have more snow than God. We have so much snow, they're talking about being able to keep the snow parks open until Christmas, which is good for other people so they can make money. But yeah, we're raining till probably the end of April. So, you know, there's only so much saturation the earth can take. So, you know, what's funny is that I always look at Orlando, but I don't see Orlando getting hit, not horribly. So up to the north, more towards the Carolinas, more towards where Bradenton is in the Gulf of Mexico coming up. And then more in the Gulf of Mexico hitting maybe even in lower Southern California. More tornadoes. Oof. So sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I definitely saw some big size tornadoes coming. I see the news media. I see everybody stopping what they're doing. I see this year, 23, a good size earthquake here in the United States. Might be in California. Might be right here where I'm sitting. I don't know. Might be more to the middle of down towards Modesto, that kind of area there. But I'm seeing a good sized one that it's all over the news. Just like, remember I told you guys I bought a boat because I had this phobic feeling about floods. So I have a boat out in the garage. I have to blow it up. But it's too heavy to pull out of the box. I'd have to have my son's because it's a very heavy boat. And then I also got those braces on my house, those earthquake proof braces on my house. So it usually when I get phobic, it means something's coming. So, oh my God. Here we go, you guys. Here we go. And don't worry about North Korea. Remember what I told you guys? I said Kim Jong-un is just showing his butt because they were doing their military things there, and he's showing his butt. I don't want you to worry about China. China, yes, is giving a little money to Putin, but I feel they work both sides of the fence. Somebody asked me, why didn't China call in all the money that we owe them? But see, if they did, it would affect it would affect us badly. And so if our economy crashes, then they don't get any more from us. Their economy crashes. They need us financially. So just remember that. Don't get too scared about that. And China's coming to a halt as far as having children is concerned. Russia is too. Okay. So all these things and this Russia thing, look what's happening with Netanyahu. Oh my God, did you see? He said out loud to President Biden, him and his right-wing party people, we don't appreciate President Biden telling us not to do he's going to change their system, you know, their judicial system to help him because he's in trouble. And yeah, well, oh, yeah, how dare the president of the United States tell us? Oh, guess what, sucker? Netanyahu's going down, you guys. I'm not saying this in a physical sense. I'm saying that look at what's going on, how they're striking, how the military is striking. This is what America needs to do. We need to stop midstream once these people start messing with us. Let me tell you, Trump won't get in again or anyone like him, but you know, we thought for sure he wouldn't get in the first place, but Russia was helping him. But if he had won again, which he won't, I could see the whole nation just stopping what they're doing, just refusing. No. That's why I'm surprised women aren't coming out in these other states and just ripping it up. We need to go on a national strike, you guys. So anyway, okay. I don't want you guys to worry. I want you to know it's going to be okay. I do not see China or Russia hitting us harder. I know Ukraine hasn't been in the news very much, but they are biding their time and Ukraine will win. Because I keep seeing the Ukrainian flag going like this, which means it wins. Okay, so somebody sent me the Three Sisters volcano update, a magna intrusion in Oregon. There you go. There's your earthquakes. There's your earthquakes, you guys. Okay, and see if there's something I'm missing. A lot of people are asking the same about Bragg again. Oh my God, Darlene said, hi, Linda. Another reader said she thinks Garland is working in Congress on the people involved. I just said that. Oh my God. I might have heard that and that subconsciously I repeated, or maybe I was trying to remember who said that, but yes, that is the truth. Yeah, Steve Bannon is going to do jail. Mark Meadows is in trouble, baby. Mark Meadows, you in trouble, boy. You about ready to get your chicas kicked. Don't worry about these people. Florida's going to really take this Satan output too, by the way. There's some stuff coming up onto Satan, and I say his end, not as physically, but his end in government is coming up. He will be. Let me tell you, when Trump goes, a lot of those people like to say they're not loving him, not at all. He's getting ready to go because people are a little tired of it. You know, they're going to have to stay. He's going to have to start paying more money in Florida because what he did with Disney. Oh, Leah said. In Waukegan, Illinois, a sailor from Great Lakes Naval Training went missing, after drinking at a bar. It's been 10 days now. His name is Seamus Gray. Is he still with us? I feel, and this is the weirdest feeling. I feel some sort of accident. Seamus, are you still alive? No. Will they find you? Yes. I'm feeling an accident, accidental drowning or something. He might have even been drinking too much. Something happened to him, but he will be found. I'm so sorry. Don't tell the mom. She probably doesn't watch my show. President Biden will add 2 more to the Supreme Court, but when, I don't know, but don't worry about that. The shift is happening as we speak, by the way. The magnetic pole is all. This is what Edgar Casey talked about. I don't know of my lifetime if it'll be. I just feel like the powers that be kind of giving us a chance because vibrationally, we're all getting higher universally. We're putting out well-being. You know, we can't be angry. We can't do all that stuff. We have to put out well-being for the universe and energetically hold the earth into our psychic minds and just fill it with love. Just imagine those little hearts that pop, you know, all over the earth. And ask that she be calm and tell her that we love her and we'd like to stay with our life here on earth. But I don't see end of times right now. I don't get that anxiety feeling. But you know, over there, they don't even worry about that. It doesn't matter if I'm going to die tomorrow because I'll just be home, you know. So, okay. The Satan is, tell me to tell you something. Somebody's asking about the students and he's doing this universal vouchers. Students are really sick in universities, etc. They don't want him in the middle of everything, telling them what they can and can't do. Because I see a lot, in fact, they just did a news article on that. A lot of kids in graduating from high school are coming out of Florida for school. They don't want to be there with him. How do I know if my imagination is talking to me? Peg says, or is it my spirit's guides? Listen very carefully, try not to overthink it, write down what you're hearing, and then wait for it to happen, but be as quiet as you can. Write it down without interpreting it, and then see what happens. Usually it'll make sense. So, oh, listen, this gun thing, by the way, I'm going to tell you guys, after 24, a lot of that's going to change. There will be no AKs. They cannot carry AKs. There's no, dear God, they're ripping the guns out of our hands. That's not what they're doing. They're just saying no weapons like an AK. That's what it's going to happen. You're going to have to pay insurance on the guns, etc. I mean, they even got in that town where those little kids just got killed, or was it a different town? No, yeah, it was Tennessee. You could carry a gun with no permit. They said if that woman had been walking down the street and the police saw her with all those weapons, they couldn't stop her. Something's wrong with that. Okay. So people are doing the diabetics. Well, no, will there be a cure for type 2? I almost feel like it's right. I almost feel like it's right here. The thing is too, is that Americans don't know how to take care of themselves. You can have cures for things, but it doesn't mean people will listen or pay attention, because some people's eating habits just don't care. You know, they want that buttercream, whatever. So, yeah. Yeah, I still feel good about Lisa. I feel good about student loans. I feel that that will go through. Okay, so I'll next Tuesday is prayer day. Watch me tomorrow with Tom Timor. I think we're gonna be on at noon live on SteamYard. And then our famous astrology. You know, I never heard from Andre. Him and I usually meet on Wednesdays. And I wrote him and I didn't hear. I hope he's okay. Or maybe he told me he was going on vacation or something. And then I'll be on with Debbie and Kim on Friday at 4:30. So anyway, so thank you, you guys. I love you all. Thank you for joining me today. And I'll be back tomorrow. Oh, and we picked our day to read everybody. Kevin and Mel, where we do our open mic, where you can just ask your questions. That's going to be on Friday, the 21st. Kevin's making me a little, you know, thing that I can post. After I get done here, I'll post a little thing to remind you guys about Tom and everything. Okay, you guys, I love you all. What, my background's fuzzy. It's not my face, right? I love this. This is wonderful. This is going to work out good, you guys. We just got to hang in there. Cheers.